Hiya, my name is Silver, and today we're gonna have a little bit of a heart-to-heart conversation about why the video game School Dragons is shit. I'm not trying to shame the game at all, I'm just trying to uncover why the game is as bad as it is. Because a lot of people are wondering, a lot of people are giving suggestions like how to make it better, but none of these are realistic and none of these are possible, and that's why I'm making this video today, so that we can get an understanding of where the game is standing and how it got here. So School Dragons is a game by JumpStart, which is a video game company that has been around since 1983. A very long time. So they have a lot of experience in video games, which makes you wonder why School Dragons isn't better than it is. So JumpStart had a lot of different names throughout its existence. It got bought up by other people, changed name, changed image, and eventually now in 2017 actually it was sold to a company called NetDragon, which has a base in China. So it's a Chinese company. So JumpStart and School Dragons is technically a Chinese game by now, Chinese owned. I'm not gonna get too deep into JumpStart. They have a long history. They make educational games, a lot of different ones. Most of their games are really simple, have a very simple premise. They have a lot of app games, mobile games that are very simple. I'm just gonna focus on School Dragons and the problem. In short, the problem with School Dragons is a lack of competence. The people and the developers that created this game and the ones that are working on it currently aren't competent enough to run a game of this size. And when I say competent and competence, it means they don't have the skill, knowledge, or tools to improve or fix their game, which is kind of surprising because, like I said, JumpStart's been around for a really long time. But if we do look at JumpStart's other games, extremely simple. None of them are as massive as School Dragons. I think when JumpStart first set out and created School Dragons, they had no idea it would become as big as it did, and in turn, that is what is killing the game. It is too massive to run properly on the skeleton, so to speak, that JumpStart created for it. There's too many moving parts now, there's too many elements to the game, so bugs appear, and JumpStart don't have the staff or, like I said, the skills to fix these bugs, so they appear all over the place. They just expanded and expanded and expanded without thinking about the consequences and what it actually takes to run a game of this size. It's the biggest game by far that JumpStart has ever done and is currently running. One of the most common suggestions for School Dragons is upgrade the graphics, improve the maps, open up the maps, let it be open world, let you just travel without a loading screen, all these sort of suggestions, and they are not even possible in the slightest. The engine that School of Dragons run on and the current state it has, the current template that it was built on top of, the maps, the areas, cannot be upgraded. It cannot get better graphics without completely breaking down the game and making a new one. It would take less effort to make a new one than to improve all these things that is wrong with School Dragons right now. Especially the graphics. It's running in Unity, which is not really the best engine for games at all. It's a really... it's possible and you can create a somewhat decent game, but it's not something that can run a successful MMORPG. I would not recommend using an engine like that. You would need something way more powerful to run School Dragons in the vision that the players have. With that said, it means that School Dragons cannot change from what it currently is without completely making a new game. And JumpStart does not have the budget to do that. They do not have the staff to do that. They don't even have the knowledge to do that. I'm quite certain. Comparing it to what JumpStart has already done, none of it is really that impressive. It is very early 2000-ish looking, PlayStation 1 era type thing. Maybe PlayStation 2. School Dragons could probably pass for a game of that quality. In truth, School Dragons has no future. No stable future, at least. Because it's not gonna be able to give what the players want. And it's just gonna be more and more outdated and more broken with every new element that is added to the game, because JumpStart can't go back and fix all the issues. There's so many coding in the game that I'm quite sure the developers and designers don't even know how to sort out. That has been seen numerous occasions. They have not been able to fix hack incidents. They have not been able to change bugs. They've not been able to correct these things. Instead, they have taken it out and then made something new. They can't go back and change that code because I have a feeling that School Dragons runs on a older template from an earlier JumpStart game. And in order to go in and change a lot of these things, they don't even have the knowledge because they were not the ones that originally created it. School Dragons has had several staff changes, and the staff that is working on the game currently is not even near to the ones that started it. I'm pretty sure they have changed out the entire staff at least 5 times, judging from the overall style of the game and the overall updates on the forum and how everything is engaging. And I have been in contact with one of the designers that worked on the game a few years ago, and they're not working on it anymore now. It's a lot of, wheels that get changed very often, which also is a bad thing, because then a person that's been sitting with it and understands it maybe better to just grab another one and then bring them in is going to create a lot of misinformation and a lot of issues. So School of Dragons is essentially too big for its own good, for the people that are running it and for the engine that it's running in. It has evolved beyond what JumpStart can handle, and that's why it has no future, because they could continue to expand it, but it's gonna stay broken because they can't go back and alter the things that are wrong with it. An example is Toothless, who has a really old model, terribly outdated by now, doesn't look satisfying at all or good in any way. But they can't change it. Because if they're gonna change Toothless with a new model and new animations, they would have to alter so many cutscenes throughout the game, expansion packs and so on. And they can't do that. They don't have the skills. They're not competent enough to do that. And that's not saying that the people working on School Dragons are dumb. It's just saying that they're not the most experienced game creators or developers in any way. That has been demonstrated for many years, so I can say that calmly and not feel bad. I would know. I've been playing the game for 7 years. And it has not been good, and it's only getting worse, sadly. So I hope nobody got upset or mad about this. I've just looked into the matter because I wanted to figure out why the game was as bad as it is, and it's really just a simple explanation that comes down to the company itself and the engine that it's running in, and just the people working on it, really. So let me know if you have any thoughts, if you have any other idea of why the game is the way it is, and what your thoughts on this whole discussion is, really. It's important to be aware and raise awareness about this because the game is not in a good state. It's worse now than ever, and it'll be really interesting to see where you guys stand on the game, because I don't have high hopes for it anymore at all. So thank you so much for watching this video, and feel free to leave suggestions as well. Anything you want to say, I'll look forward to reading it in the comment section, and hopefully we will meet again in the future. So long and take care.